Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of our Brilliant Wonders podcast. This is just the start. So I'm super excited to have everybody here. We are going to be talking about where to start when it comes to deciding what what is our highest priority when it comes to goal setting. So the wellness wheel is not new. It has been around for a long time. I've actually adopted it from uh, Tony Robbins, like a seminar that I had went to a long time ago. I cannot remember how much I've changed with it. I feel like I've added different categories and whatnot. But what this is about is we're really trying to dig into what is the real interruption, or what is the real like pullback or resistance of us not reaching our goals. And this is a great time. It's beginning of the year, right? And we all have these New Year's resolutions. We're already a couple weeks in. So, at this point, how many of us are still working on our New Year's resolutions? Or have we, phoned it in already? But I hope you're still going strong. I really do. And I hope that you're having a great new year. This is about finding where is it in our balance of life. Like, I don't necessarily believe that there's balance. It's kind of like one of those goals that's infinite, that it's always something we may be working on, because balance does create like alignment and in being able to see and feel and experience life the way that we want to. But we do need to really think about as well, like, what are the things that are pulling us out of alignment? And then a lot of times, like, I'm a healthcare practitioner, right? So I'm a chiropractor by trade. And we talk about alignment a lot, but there are things that keep pulling us out of alignment that we may not be aware of. Because a lot of us talk about nutrition. A lot of us talk about, oh, we need to eat healthier. We just came off the holidays, like, let's do better. Or we need to move our bodies more. Those are the two biggest things that people, or finances. But usually those first two are the biggest things that people come to me for, that are working on these different, are wanting to like attain a different goal, right? Or see their body differently, or feel differently in their body, and that sort of thing. Well, we always have those same goals. Like, that seems to come up all the time. But what is it that's keeping us from there? Because we know that those are high priorities. We've already seen that, we've talked about them. But what is it that keeps pulling us backwards so that we're not reaching those goals that we're looking to reach? If we have to keep setting the same New Year's resolution, or the same goal, or the same I'll start on Monday, then we aren't necessarily getting into, like, obviously, no, that's important because, like, we keep going back to it. But what is it that's actually pulling us backwards, that's causing the resistance, that's causing the trigger, that's causing the interruption in what we're trying to move forward in? So that's what today's about. We're going to talk about the wellness wheel. So the wellness wheel is it's it's a wheel, it's a circle, and this is an activity. This is something that you're going to be wanting to grab in the show notes, or we're just going to help you create it just by drawing, drawing a big circle. For those of you who are watching the recording, I am going to share a view here in just a moment, so that you can see what the wellness wheel looks like. And those of you who are just listening, give me a second, and I'll be able to explain what we're talking about. Okay, so this is the wellness wheel. The wellness wheel is made up of different pie pieces, okay? So you've got, if you're going to do this at home, do this worksheet at home, you're going to get a plain sheet of paper, just a big blank piece of paper, and you're going to draw a big circle on it, okay? And then once you draw that big circle, you're going to divide it in half, okay? And then you're going to divide it in quarters, like a pie, okay? And then you're going to divide those quarters in half as well, okay? So you should be at the end, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. You should have 8 pie pieces, okay? On each pie piece, we're going to label them, okay? So you're going to label physical, So physical stressors, not stressors, sorry, that's, that's a comment that I make in the office all the time, habit. Okay, the physical aspect of your life. So we're talking about how you're moving, how you're spending the most of the hours of your day. Are you seated at a desk? Are you lifting heavy boxes? Are you twisting and turning? Are you standing at a cash register? Like, what is it that you're spending most of your day in with the physical piece? Are you strong? Do you feel like your muscles are strong? Do you feel like your alignment is good? Okay. Do you feel like your posture is good? So those are all physical things. Then we're going to get into chemicals. So label the next pie piece chemical. Chemical is actually what we put in and on our bodies. The environment that we're living in, is it chemically free or is it full of chemicals? So one great example, I live in a farming community where, we're maybe around a lot of pesticides or, different chemicals that we are farming with. What is hairdressers, for example, are breathing in a lot of different fumes. So think about your day to day. How many chemicals are you breathing in? How many chemicals are getting on your skin? So that includes, like lotions and face washes and that sort of thing. Like, how clean are the products that you're putting on your body? And then, of course, what is on our body, the skin on our body, it actually turns into the skin that goes into our mouths and down through our digestive tract. So it's actually, that endothelial tissue is all is the same. So we're absorbing chemicals through what we eat as well. So we're not getting into the specific nutrition here. We're just getting into how clean are the products that we're eating, or what are we consuming? Are they clean? Okay, the next pie piece is mental. So this is what is going on in our brain. Okay. This is, what are we putting into our brain? Are we watching TV shows that may be causing more drama in our lives? Or are we watching things that are scary, causing more cortisol levels to go up? Are we, engaging in healthy conversations? What is our mental state at? What are we thinking throughout the day? Is it positive things? Is it fear-based? That sort of thing. So that's the next pie piece. Emotional is the next one. Okay, this is a lot of our feelings. Okay, how am I feeling on a regular basis? Am I feeling safe? Am I feeling secure? Am I feeling confident? Am I feeling proud? Am I feeling I'm trying to think of any other good ones. Joyful, happy. Like, am I feeling more of those emotions on my day to day, or am I feeling doubtful, worrisome, maybe fearful, in danger? What emotions am I feeling? Imposter syndrome is huge here too. Like, what am I feeling on a regular basis? Okay, the next one is spiritual. So this one is, what am I connecting to? Do I have a higher power? Am I talking to the higher power on a regular basis? So for me, God is my higher power, right? And that is my spiritual practice, is that. So is it on a regular basis that you're connecting with your spiritual self, your spirit, and being able to navigate life with your spirit? Or are you kind of like, I'm just going with it, I go with the flow, trying to just make it work every day? I'm on my own, I feel lonely. Those are things that you would think about on the spiritual side. Next pie piece is nutrition. So now we're getting into, what am I eating? Am I consuming healthy foods? Am I consuming things that benefit me? This one is also different. There are tons of people out there that have gluten sensitivities, or they're allergic to eggs, or they're sensitive to I don't know, different fruits and vegetables, which is kind of crazy, but like, like I, for example, can't eat sweet potatoes. They mess with me. I'm sensitive to them right now. So, the other thing, the obvious ones, sugar. Okay. What is, in my dressings that I'm putting on my salads or putting in my marinades? Am I eating enough healthy fats? Am I eating enough fruits and vegetables? Am I getting enough protein? Do I get enough fiber to keep me regular? You know, those sorts of things. Also in this category, you would put in, you know, like if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, like am I drinking enough water? Those sorts of things. Okay, community is the next one. This is, who are we around? Are we involved in the community? Do we have friends and family and people that we like are able to connect with? Connection is huge. Obviously, 2020 totally threw our connection piece completely off, or it was fearful. We feared being around people, right? So this is back into like, do I have a healthy community? Who are the 5 people that I'm surround myself with? Do they have a good wheel? Like what we're doing? Are they healthy? Are they inspiring? Are they supportive? That sort of thing. This can also be your, you know, where do you hang out at most? Are you at work most of the time? Do you have kids in different sporting events? Do you have a group of friends? Do you have a church? Do you have, you know, these different things where you would find community? Are you around that? Okay, then we're at financial, and this is the last one. So this is our 8th pie piece. How are your finances? A lot of people don't like bringing this up, but this is a huge piece that throws us off in all aspects if we do not take care of it. So financially, do I feel like I'm making good decisions with my money? Do I know where my finances are at? Do I know if I'm setting myself up for success? Not only just at retirement, but for the next year. Is my family supported? Do we feel secure in our finances? That sort of thing. So what you're going to do now that we've talked about all the different 8 pie pieces, what you're going to do is you're going to go in and rate yourself from 0 to 10 on each of these pie pieces. Okay, so you're just going to put an X on the line, with 10 being on the complete outside of the pie piece and 0 being right in the center where all those lines are intersecting. Okay, so rate yourself for physical. You know, what am I between 0 and 10? Where do I find myself right now? Where am I seeing myself right now? Then you're going to jump to chemical, the next line, 0 to 10. Rate yourself there, then rate yourself at mental, then at emotional, then at spiritual, nutrition, community, finances. Okay, so once you have yourself rated at each one of those, I'm going to give you a second to do that. Once you have each of those rated there, then you're going to draw a line between all the little marks. So that is what we are looking at this picture here. So we're looking at where's our circle at? Where are we finding flat spots? So when we think of balance, we think of nice and round, right? If you were to pretend like you're riding a bicycle down the street and you have a nice round tire, that's good, right? There's no bumps. You're going to get to where you're going, that sort of thing. We're going to get to the destination. Well, what happens when we have a flat? It stops us in our tracks, right? Like we don't end up going anywhere. There's a bump in the road, right? That keeps reminding us that we can't get to where we're going. Okay. So I want to become so aware of those bumps because that is what's keeping us back. Okay. So on the lower end where you are rated lower than the rest of them, that is actually where it's time to dive in and really become aware of what is going on in that aspect of your life. So for example, this one, we are going to pretend that we started the lowest, pretend this is my wheel. So the lowest rating on my wheel is my community. Okay. So on this, my goal would be to boost up the community piece so that my wheel is first off round. Okay, so whether that is, I need to find community that is supporting my health. I would like to find a community that's supporting my mental state. I need to find community around whatever aspect of that. And what part of the community is missing? Like, why would I choose that I'm at a level 3 on community? Like, what is it that I feel like is missing? And then we decide from there, that's where we decide our goals, our priorities, like what we need to do to get that to boost up. So hopefully that all makes sense. Now, the other caveat to this is once you start to become so aware, you become so aware of who you are and what you're doing and what is lacking, what is strong, that sort of thing. Uh, you start to learn about a lot of different stuff. So let's say you worked on your community, growing your community for the last 6 months, okay? And you're like, gosh, this is doing really good. But now I feel like I'm lacking in a lot of other things because you know what? In that community, I learned a lot about my physical health. And I thought I was at a 5, but really I'm not. I'm probably at a 3. Oh no, so like this wheel will keep shifting and changing as you continue to grow, develop, learn your lessons, fail, all these things you start to learn. So that's why this is always shifting and changing, and that's why I don't think balance is really true. It's not necessarily attainable, uh, but it's always something we strive for, right? So think about your wheel. Start to work on your wheel. I'm going to stop sharing this real quick. Okay, so start working on your wheel and work through it. And then from there, you will have a really good idea of what is actually lacking, what is actually holding you back. I didn't realize this, and this was quite a while ago, but at one point in my life, I really, really struggled with finances, and I didn't know just how much that was hurting the rest of my stuff. I knew a lot about the body. I knew I was just out of chiropractic school. I didn't know a lot about finances. I didn't study it much. I didn't pay attention to it a lot other than when I knew my bank account was low. Like that's all I really knew. So what I ended up doing, I didn't realize it, but I kind of had to do something. I was not in a good spot. So I started studying my finances. And once I was able to feel better about those, I just realized that everything else started to grow. They talk about this, like if you think about a harbor and one big, huge ship comes into the harbor, it's actually going to raise the water levels of everything else. So everything raises with it when that big ship comes in. So when you do like really figure out what it is that you're lacking in, and then you start working on it, you study it, you start filling your brain with it, you start to have conversations about it, you start to learn about it, and it really settles into you, then that growth that you just made actually grows everything else around it. So the goal first off is to balance the wheel, guys. Balance your wheel. It might not be sexy, okay? It might not be the thing that you want to go to the gym and work out a bunch because that's what everyone's doing. It might be something that you're needing to study at home, or the needing to a community, building a different community. These different things that may not seem like they're all like, like gonna change me right away. But I promise it will. Once you kind of figure out where it's all coming from, where is that resistance really, coming from? Where's the trigger at? What is actually holding you back from excelling at everything else? So fix that one thing and it lifts everything else up. So first off, balance the wheel. After that, grow the wheel. Because then you want this big fat wheel to get you somewhere, because it really, one revolution takes that circumference of that tire. As it grows and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, you get somewhere a lot faster. So I hope today helped. And thank you for listening. This is the first episode of the Brilliant Wonders podcast. It is a weekly episode or weekly podcast at this point, and we will see where it takes us. Thanks for listening, and we will be visiting next week.